Good night, everybody. Hey, good night, beautiful people. We are trying to get to sleep. It's late. We're tired. We're distracted. It's complicated. The mind is sometimes racing. If this is you, or just if you're a little too wired or a little too, I don't know, deep in thoughts or distracted constantly by your own mind, I hope that this is going to help you out. My goal is to help you get some beautiful rest. And so I'm going to talk to you for like an hour-ish. I'm actually not sure. It might be 45, it might be an hour, it might be an hour and 15. This is my very first attempt at a new series that I would love to do. And this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. This is what I would think of as our Sleepy Time series. I don't know what we're going to call it, actually. It's all kind of up in the air. So if you have any ideas, you can always list them in the comments, but I don't want anyone to feel obligated to think too much or write anything down because we're here tonight to go to sleep and relax. My goal is to help you out to get to that point where you can just stop thinking and get lost into the dream state. We're going straight to Slumberland and we're going to have an amazing staycation. When you close your eyes and breathe in and just release, it's going to feel amazing. This is how your body is going to recharge itself. Like, we all know that feeling, I hope. And I actually get sad when I know people who aren't getting enough sleep. I feel terrible. Like, oh my goodness, you would feel so good. I'm like, you've got to try this thing. It's called sleeping. I know life is hard. I know it's hectic and it's crazy and it's busy. But when you really refuel yourself, I mean, let's not even think about the fact that it's wintertime. Okay, we're coming into wintertime. People are getting sick left, right, and center. Either you know somebody who's been sick, maybe you've been sick yourself. It's going around, it's coming around, and it's weird. It's like cycles, weeks and weeks, and I keep seeing it coming up. And right now, especially while everyone's getting sick, your immune system is going to love extra sleep. If you can get some good sleeping hours, your immune system is going to be so happy. And it's like the most incredible thing when you can get through your day strong. It's wonderful. And if you're not feeling that way, if you're feeling a little weakened, whatever, feel free to just relax, let go, get into that dream state. You don't have to pay attention. You can just at any time go to anywhere you'd like to go in your mind, climb the magic beanstalk into whatever. I've heard stories about people who control their dreams, and I forgot the name, there's a name of it. I'm sure some of you know. I don't think it's a great idea because, from what I've heard, I don't know, from what I've heard, if you control your dream, it's like you're kind of working all night to do all that and you don't really sleep as well. So, my best advice is to just let things kind of play out. And I mean, I don't know, I'm not a dream expert or anything of the sort, but I am someone who does dream a lot and very vivid dreams. My dreams are so interesting and fun and sometimes bad. I have nightmares and I always want to fix them. Sometimes I'll have a nightmare, I wake up in the morning and I keep wanting to go back into sleep to fix it and make the story come out the right way, so everyone's happy and the heroes win and the bad guys lose and your typical like what everybody wants to see in a movie or in life, right? So it can be a little bit of a distraction because if I have something bad or even something good, maybe, it's like you just want to keep going back to that place. So I have heard stories that some people just get so into their dream world that they just want to stay there forever. Can you imagine? But my philosophy is this. Not that anybody's asking my philosophy, but I'm just going to give it to you anyways. My philosophy is this. One of the reasons that I feel very passionately about sleeping, and I realize that there's so much power in getting good rest in your system, is because the way I look at it, is tomorrow is full of possibilities. Tomorrow is full of potential, and it is what you make of it, and there's always boundaries. There's always going to be limitations, but at the same time, you are capable of anything that you really put your mind to within, I guess, some reason. I don't know what parameters I need to put on that, to be honest. But really, I think that when I challenge myself, I get excited because I know that there's growth and there's things happening, and you can kind of look back on your achievements, look back on your accomplishments, and see a result, and it's exciting. And you can see, I did that, and it's awesome. For that reason, I always say tomorrow is full of possibilities because it can be as much as you want it to be, and the days all layer on top of each other. That's how life and time works, as far as I know. And so when you put all these little achievements and little accomplishments together, that's how you create this great, amazing thing, this huge aha or whatever it is, like whatever that drives you, whatever your passion is. And this is just my own sort of belief system I hold for myself. And I guess I just think, hey, tomorrow, anything you want, embrace it, take it, do it, make it happen. And you can demonstrate pure greatness. And of course, every day is a little different. You have different attitudes, different moods, different levels of energy and enthusiasm. So some days you're going to go further. Some days it feels like it's just weird and it's bad luck, and it's like, oh, this day I just need it to be over. It's like there's a gray shadow hanging over this horrible day. And those days happen, but I think it's important not to let them get the best of you, and know that I feel like things like that, just little cycles and time periods, are going to exist. Just like you have your upswing, you have your little momentum, you've got the wind at your back pushing you forward as you go, and then once in a while it's going to be resistant to you. From, just my own philosophy, I think that's how it is for everybody. And you just got to ride the waves and go with it, and then like kind of tough through the storm when the going gets tough. I didn't expect this, by the way. I hope I'm not talking too fast. I didn't expect this to be like a non-stop segment of myself giving every little motivational quote that I've possibly ever seen on a billboard or a sign somewhere. I'm not really sure. But if you guys have any ideas at any point, please contribute them. Don't get up out of bed or anything, but by all means, if you have any thoughts, the dialogue is open in the comments below. I'd love to hear your feedback. This might even be something that someone might listen to in the daytime. I never thought about it, but maybe someone who wants to do their chores and have some mundane talking in the background. I'm your girl, hit me up. So I don't remember, but we were talking about being in a dream state and how your body will love you for giving it the fuel that it needs. We need good food, good water, we need good air, and we definitely need some good sleep. I mean, there's like a thing called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and it's going to cover that and so much more. Probably some of you learned about it in school, and if you haven't, if you're interested in I don't know, would that be classified as human psychology? It's all there, and it talks about how we need, kind of our level of needs, our needs system, and the very basics are at the bottom. It's kind of survival. It's like you need food, you need shelter, you need safety, and then things like love and appreciation and respect they start to be more towards the top. As you start to climb up the pyramid towards the top, there's all the higher aspirations in life and your personal fulfillment and being desired and loved and cherished as a human, as a person, having someone be interested and care about your feelings. All those things are kind of represented on the spectrum. Let's get into a little story time. I have been talking to some of you guys today live on my live stream. Hi, what's up if you don't know me? If it's your first time for some reason, I'm Lean Green, and I do a lot of different various social media applications. And so one of the things that we were talking about was old experiences. We were discussing experiences from school, middle school, high school, elementary school. And it's kind of fun to think about, I don't know, exciting, embarrassing moments, things like that. What was life like? What did you do? What are some of your craziest moments? What did you do for fun? Like, it's so exciting to go back there and think, ooh, what a great time, where life was so simple in so many ways, and you could just be your most free self. You could be your most crazy, out there, mm, I want to say interesting, but just, I think we were a little extra back then. I think, it's like you're 13 and you're fearless. You're in middle school, you're in seventh grade, sixth grade, whatever, eighth grade. For me, seventh grade, I was very out there. I was very like, I guess you could say brave. I was very like, we do what we want, we say what we want, outspoken, because you're not in sixth grade, you're not new, you've been around, you know what's kind of what to expect. And I don't know, we were just our craziest selves. It was really exciting. And for me, seventh grade was a year where I felt like a lot of growing, a lot of learning happened. We would show off for our friends a little bit here and there with like ridiculous, all kinds of things, athletic things, you name it, just being a little bit out there and the loudest, the craziest. It's like we really did it all. I remember we had a pool set up for the winter time with a tent over it. And next to it, there was another pool. During the winter, only one pool was covered, and it was split in half for freestyle, half for laps. And we would go from the heated winter pool into the cold outdoor, not meant for winter pool. We would just jump, plunge right in. Now, mind you, of course, all of this is to impress our friends. So we're jumping around, we're doing this and that. We're like, I'm going from the hot pool to the cold pool. It's a lot of like these adventurous dares type of thing. So when I think about middle school and when I think about what was I doing back then? What was life about? What was even in my head? It was getting together with your friends and just truly expressing yourself, being as crazy as possible. Like, really, we embraced ourselves and we sort of challenged each other to do the same, at least between my friends, we did. It was like we really, and I was attracted to people that did embrace who they were, and they weren't afraid to be a little more bold, a little more daring, a little more themselves, and not just mundane, go with the flow, try to fit in. Like, no shade, it's good. It's good to fit in actually in real life because it helps you, I think. But I also found so much strength and so much inspiration in the people that weren't afraid to be different and weren't afraid to stand out and express things that they liked and the things that were exciting for them, even if it wasn't trending, even if it wasn't like the cool thing that everybody was all about. They were just kind of like, yeah, I like this, and it's not really popular, but I like it and I'm proud of it. So those people always stood out to me, and I always thought, yeah, that's awesome. That's like you're doing your own thing. And so those were a lot of my friends. So we almost challenged each other, I think, in a way to just stand out more and be yourself more and just not care, you know. It was all about not caring and not like worrying about what anybody thinks of you. And there was so much strength at that time. Anyways, I am going off into a tangent and I'm probably talking a little too fast. So forgive me. I am brand new at this and it's so fun. I absolutely want to do more story times. I hope you guys like these story times. And it was requested that we talk about middle school, high school, elementary school. All those things are so fun, like when you're not in it, to nostalgically think back upon. If you're in it right now and you happen to be hearing my voice, I will say this to you. Life afterwards is a blast. Not that, again, I had a lot of fun when I was in high school, elementary, middle school. I'm no longer in any of those things, and life is even more exciting. So if you're struggling and it's something that is troubling you, which I think is only normal, um, don't freak out too much because life is going to get even better. So it's like the little picture of a cat type of poster hanging on a tree branch, and the cat is saying, "Hang in there." That's like for you. Just hang in there, and it's going to be all good in the hood. Like it's going to be amazing. But, anyways, I digress. And what middle school experience would be complete without considering the old middle school crush? Now, probably you had more than one, maybe not, I don't know, but I definitely had many crushes in middle school. And it's so funny to think back on who are these people? Why did I have a crush? Was it because they were just next to me? And then you spend time next to someone. Like now that I'm thinking about it, I had quite a few crushes and they were very conveniently located. And maybe if they hadn't been, who knows what could have happened. My goodness, the old middle school crush. I mean, I had so many. Some middle school crushes were because they were just so cute, you know? Other ones, they had a great sense of humor, charisma, charm, talent, you name it. Can you remember your middle school crushes? You don't have to think about it. But I remember it was just like every time completely something different, totally unexpected, and absolutely just out of nowhere. And you're like, I wasn't coming in here looking for a crush. And then bam, there it is. It just appears right before your eyes. And you're like, oh boy, what am I gonna do now? Well, you just have a crush, that's all. Maybe you talk on the phone, maybe somebody invites someone to someone else's birthday party. Who knows? I hope you guys enjoy these story times. I'm happy to tell stories about all kinds of things, whether they're my own experiences or just fables and stories that you guys write. If you want to send them to me, I think that'd be so cool to read some of your stories. And until next time, my name is Lean Green. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and being part of this experience. I appreciate you. And I want to say a nice, long, sweet goodbye to let you know that the end is coming. And I hate to, I hate to say the end is near because some of you might not even be close to sleeping. And I envision this probably to be a lot longer than it actually is turning out to be. And I mean, I could probably prattle on for an eternity. I might just not ever end this and then it won't ever get uploaded. So that's a terrible idea. I should definitely end it and upload it. I'll do both of those things for sure. But I do want to give you guys a heads up. And if you do like this, please leave me some positive feedback below because I think it's really fun. But if I don't get a lot of feedback, I won't be as excited to do it. So let me know in the chat below whenever, it doesn't have to be right now, but at any time when you're watching me in the future, you can always remember, oh yeah, she totally said she wants to hear from me. So I'm going to comment and say, hey, please make more of these. Or, hey, please don't ever do these because I don't know actually why anybody would say that. Probably not. It'd probably be like, hey, could you please tell a story about bunnies? Because there's this like cute little bunny that I see in the yard sometimes, and I would love to imagine his life. I would love to think about what would happen if I were to follow him down the rabbit hole and like mysterious things could happen and take place. You have no idea what's down that rabbit hole. Okay. So we could go there, we could look around, we could poke around. Um, we might have to be careful what we reveal about that place. It could lead to some dangerous moments because I'm sure the rabbit hole has secrets lying below. So we might not want to talk about the Jabberwocky or any of those, characters who shall remain nameless. But it is all very possible that we could explore more things like that and more things in general. So I am so excited that I actually had the time, courage, and all of you guys, all of your support to actually publish this video. It was a little bit of why am I struggling? Improv. It was a little bit of improv, can you tell? But I've always wanted to do this story time, sleepy time video series, and I just needed to put this out there as a small sample so you get a little taste, a little idea of what I'm talking about because I've explained it a few times and I'm not sure if anybody quite understands or cares, even though I've had a lot of people say, that's a great idea, and I'm really excited and I look forward to that. So if you're one of those people, I would love to hear from you. And you guys can always just leave a thumbs up if you can't think about a comment. Both would be much appreciated. And that's really the fuel that lights my YouTube fire right now is your thumbs up and your comments. So I hope it doesn't come off too thirsty that I keep begging you for it. But I just want to know. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know what you like. I want to know what other stories I should cover because you guys have the best ideas ever. Maybe I'll even like read some of your comments. So, for those of you who read comments that I think are going to be valuable for other people to hear, I can always read those out loud. So, maybe you guys will have something that we can share with other people. Like, for example, if this is working for you, if you find any value in this, make sure you leave a comment at some point below. I'm not asking you to do it right now. If you're in bed and you're comfy, please stay relaxed. I might even start mentioning this in the beginning of my future videos. That way, everybody's on the same page. Until next time, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys get a lot of value out of these. I kind of see it as like kind of a podcast situation. Who knows if we get there, but I just need to know that you actually like this type of content and that it brings you some good joy and some comfort in your life. I just want to be there as the person who's kind of helping you when it's dark and it's quiet and you have too many ideas in your head and you just want to release them all and listen to some babbling, a lot of nothing. I hope I can be that nothing for you and fill that void. Until next time, goodbye for now, but not forever.